A speeding sport utility vehicle taken without permission and carrying 8 teenagers crashed into a guardrail Sunday morning and flipped over into a swampy pond in northeast Ohio, killing 5 boys and a woman, the State Highway Patrol said. The Honda Passport veered off the left side of the road and overturned just south of the city of Warren, about 60 miles east of Cleveland, Lieutenant Henry Alston said. Investigators say it came to rest upside down in the swamp and sank with 5 of the victims trapped inside. A sixth, who was thrown from the SUV during the crash, was found under it when the vehicle was taken out of the water. The 2 boys who survived escaped from the submerged vehicle and ran a quarter-mile to a home to call 911, the Highway Patrol said. State Highway Patrol Lieutenant Brian Holt said at an evening news conference that speed was a factor, although investigators were still trying to determine the speed at the time of the accident. We will not be speculating on alcohol and/or drug usage pending toxicology reports, Holt said. No one in the vehicle had permission to take it, but there were no theft reports, Holt said. The vehicle was licensed to a resident of Youngstown, about 20 miles away, he said. After the news conference, the gates of an impound lot were opened to show the wreck, with windows smashed and extensive damage to the front end, hood and roof. Alston didn't know where the teens were headed when the crash happened at about 7 a.m. and Holt said later it wasn't clear how long they had been out. Ashia Kaysen said she learned of her sister's death Sunday morning, when she had just been thinking of her. She was loving. She was silly, and she was a clown, Ashia said, according to WKBN. She liked to make everybody laugh even when we were sad. I just want everybody to know that if you are going through something, pick up the phone and call your siblings, your family and tell them you love them. You never know what can happen. Tomorrow is not promised to anybody. A pile of blue, green and copper red stuffed bears grew at a makeshift memorial at the crashed site along the 2-lane road tightly bordered with guardrails on either side in an industrial area. The sport utility vehicle had sheared off tall cattails along the guardrail. There were also notes at the memorial, including a letter from Daylan Ray's 12-year-old half-sister, Mariah Bryant, who said she had learned they were related only in the past year. It hurts, it really does, because they are so young and, like, they could have had so much more to life, she said. We just really started getting close, and it's hard to believe he's gone. 2 of the teens, both 15, were brought to a hospital in full cardiac arrest, St. Joseph Health Center nursing supervisor Julie Gill said, and were pronounced dead there. She said they were treated for hypothermic drowning trauma, indicating they had been submerged in cold water. The 2 who survived, 18-year-old Brian Henry and 15-year-old Asher Lewis, both of Warren, were treated for bruising and other injuries and released, she said. All those killed were ages 14 to 19, authorities said. State police identified them as the 19-year-old driver Lexus Kaysen, Andrew Bennett, 14, Brandon Murray, 17, and Kirkland Bender, Ramon White and Ray, all 15. The Highway Patrol said Kaysen was the only female in the vehicle.